Hi there. For the purposes of this video, I'm gonna go ahead and show how students would log in, just like the whole process. But um, there's like many ways. Like my students would never see a video of how to do this in my course because they already would have been trained to do it. Um, but first, they would go to their district website and click on the OLA homepage tab, um, and then go to 912 student and click on the FLVS, which is where their classes are stored, and then click on the login. And then move the video down to the bottom and click on the login. And that would take them to their dashboard where they would have access to all of their classes that they are taking. And I'm going to look at Geometry 1 because that's where I did my activities for. So the home, sort of their like home base is this landing page where we update the calendar every week um, for what the week will look like for them, and when they can get office hours, and there's a high school lunch lounge. And then we have the links to anything that they need. So the class and office hours link is the same, and then their individual appointments for my co-teacher, Mr. White Wolf, and myself. And then we have our Bitmojis and our contact information. And depending on the class that they are taking, there might be resources down at the bottom. So like this is an online geometry construction tool that opens. I don't know if you have experience with this with the math labs, but that's how they can complete the construction unit. And then there's also a link to the pacing guide, which they have to make a copy of. And then it has check marks and is broken up by the weeks for their pacing for what they would need to complete. Oh, this one didn't get changed all the way. For what they would need to complete in order to finish the course by the end of the term, which will be, that's funny, it's just the week breaks that didn't get changed, which will be act April 7th. Um, so those are like the things in terms of the pacing guide. That pacing guide is the same for all of the courses that we teach in the sense that like the way that it looks. So if they're with us for more than one time, students also have an activity like to do up at the top that has activities broken up by date for them based on the pacing guide that I included in the last assignment. And so they would have a list, and then there's a calendar link for them, which I don't think I have oh, I do have a calendar. There's a calendar link for them that has like, so Geometry 1, oh. So Geometry 1, it breaks it up like this by day, and so it tells them what they need to have done on that particular day, so that they know what their pacing is. And for some kids, it works super well, and for some kids, it doesn't. And so then to look at sort of the structure of all of my courses is the same because the curriculum itself was given to us. Things that students can't see are pictured like that. So every course has, and every lesson has, every module has a lesson, which is this white paper, and then things that look like this are activities, so non-graded or like teacher graded activities, and then anything that looks like this is a quiz, which is usually 5 to 10 multiple choice questions. And then I'm running out of time, 5.5 minutes. Uh, so all of our curriculum is a lesson like this that has the navigation is up at the top that has pages, and there, you know, as you can see, it's like thing pop-ups, and um, there are activities, and a lot of them there are activities. And then you can come down. Let's see, is there an activity in there? So it has the different things, and then they have drop-down menus. I think it's page 9. And then there's different tabs. So students have access to different things, and then there's examples. So in the and everything that I've created so far and like will create, what I have done is gone through and taken screenshots of the actual curriculum and then put it into a document that is sort of, I don't know, more straightforward sometimes for students, and then like made the note sheets, like the note sheets that I made was actually off of, oh, I guess that page, and then also this page. Um, and then I would take screenshots of what was actually in the curriculum and insert them into the slideshow or the note sheets or whatever I'm creating. And so then the way that currently the way that uh, we are presenting materials, because of the time consumption, essentially, of having to create new tasks and completely build out. I'm currently teaching 8 math classes, so having to build out 8 math classes at one time, and adding things is we have created slideshows that then have the different things that we're using. So like it just has video. I need to change that title so that it's clearer. So like this is the video I made on angle relationships, and then that is the guided notes for that. So I need to go in right now and change the title so that it's clearer what the video is about. And then the geometry proofs resource is something that's actually provided by the curriculum itself. But every section has this resource at the beginning of the assessment so that students have access to the lesson by Florida Virtual, and then the resources are before the assessment. So if they take the assessment and they don't pass the assessment, they would have access to the resources, and they would be asked to like either come to office hours and we would explain them or do the resources by themselves. But they I don't know. It's like this fine place between like figuring out how to implement what I'm learning in this course in the best, most efficient way to finish out the year while also teaching 8 different math classes at one time in self-paced, multi-grouped classrooms and various and sundry things. So that's sort of like the structure. I do think in hindsight, like the naming conventions of the lessons are fine, I think, and like what they will remain through this year. But I think coming up with better naming conventions for the resource slides is going to be my next attempt. So that's the like basic rundown of what the LMS and what we're using. Or yeah, let me know if you have any questions or want more information.